2. Awakening for the Golden Age. Recognize yourself and become a flame for humanity. When you stop thinking of yourself as someone, you begin to remember that you are everything. We are living in an unprecedented time for humanity. A time of transformation where the soul is invited to shed the shell of ignorance and return to its original light. It is no longer an age of fear, control, or division, but an age of connection, co-creation, and collective enlightenment. Mahavatar Babaji, the immortal guru, is not just a symbol of meditation and silence. He is the living embodiment of wisdom acting in silence, of light in the world, and the frequency of awakening the soul in the new age. This part too not only brings awareness, but also ignites the flame of service, the living light in everyday life, helping each person become a true ray of light for humanity. Message 38. Spirituality is not about running away from life. It is about lighting up life with the light within. Babaji taught that the old era encouraged people to detach from the world to practice. But the new era is about being present in life, where every action, every thought, every step is part of a living meditation. You don't need to go into the deep forest to meet God. If you can stay awake while washing dishes, driving a car, listening to another person, you have met him. Windface Message 39. Your mind is the creator of reality, not a victim of circumstances. Babaji taught that everything you experience arises from the frequency you emit. There is no fate imposed, but the energy you choose to create in each moment. If you think the world is a dangerous place, you will see the evidence everywhere. If you know that the world is the soul's classroom, you will see everything as a sacred lecture. Message 40. Your soul is not just a student, it is a teacher to humanity itself through your presence. You are not just a learner from life, you are also a mirror, an energy, a light code that contributes to the frequency of all humanity. When you heal yourself, you are also releasing ancestral memories, clearing out outdated collective energies. One awakened person can liberate 7 generations, both before and after him. Message 41. Enlightenment is not a flash of lightning, but a light that slowly oozes through each small conscious action. You do not need to be enlightened to be enlightened. You just need to be mindful in the smallest things, the way you speak, the way you eat, the way you think about others, the way you react when you are hurt. Truth does not need a big stage, it needs a soul that lives right in every moment. Message 42. Time does not exist for the soul, there is only the choice of now. Do not delay being true to yourself. Your soul does not wait for when things are better or when you are ready. The moment you choose to live in the light is the moment your soul is free. You do not need more time to awaken. You need less loss of self. Message 43. When you stop trying to be, you begin to be who you are. Babaji taught that the ego always wants you to build an image. The soul just wants you to be. All suffering comes from the difference between who you try to be and who you really are. Being true to yourself is the first medicine of awakening. Message 44. Listening is the deepest act of love. You do not need an answer. Just listen with your heart, without judgment, without interruption. In that quiet space, the other person is themselves, and you touch the presence of God. A deep listener is a wordless healer. Message 45. Your body is a vessel of light. Cleanse it so that the soul can take control. Babaji teaches that the body is a sacred vehicle for the soul to learn and serve. Food, sleep, breathing, rest, all are part of the journey of awakening. Love and care for the body as a temple of light. Your soul is light. Your body is a lamp. Do not let smoke cover that light. Message 46. You are not alone. You are an integral part of the global network of light. Babaji teaches that every awakening soul holds a point of light in the planetary network of light. When you meditate, live mindfully, act from love, you are strengthening the frequency of light for the whole. The light you hold is not just for you, it is for all of us. Message 47. No one can truly awaken you except yourself. Babaji taught that any teacher, no matter how great, can only point the way, but cannot walk it for you. Awakening cannot be forced. It only happens when you decide to sit down, look deeply into yourself, and choose to let go of illusions. He can speak, the universe can send signs, situations can push you to the limit, but only when you open your heart, ask yourself, who am I? Am I truly alive? Will the fire begin to burn? Babaji does not come to pull you away. He stands at the gate and waits for you to come into yourself. Message 48. Emotions are not enemies. They are waves of energy coming for you to see and release. In the old days, people tried to kill emotions to be at peace. But Babaji taught that every emotion has a message. Not for you to run away from, but for you to listen. Anger can indicate a boundary being violated. Sadness can be a longing to return home. Fear can signal that you are moving away from your truth. When you embrace your emotions with awareness, without judgment, they dissolve like mist in the sun. You did not come to control your emotions. You came to befriend them. Enlightenment Message 49. You are not just healing yourself, you are healing your entire ancestral lineage. Babaji emphasized that your soul did not come here just to experience life. You were born into this particular family, this particular country, this particular time, because you carry within you the energy to heal what your ancestors failed to do. Every time you let go of past anger, resolve limiting beliefs, forgive old wounds, you are releasing dysfunctional energy for an entire genetic branch. You are the answered prayer of ages past. Message 50. You are not a soul, you are a soul having a human experience. The material world makes us identify with our bodies, our names, our roles. But Babaji teaches that you are not this body, not the past, not the story. You are pure consciousness, the presence that observes everything that happens. The body, the emotions, the thoughts, they are all just way stations on a much larger journey. When you stop thinking of yourself as someone, you begin to remember that you are everything. Enlightenment Message 51. Don't look for the light, remove what covers it. Babaji taught that light does not come from outside. It is always there within you, like the sun behind the clouds. You don't have to try to become enlightened, better. You just have to remove the layers of fear, control, self-denial. Enlightenment is a matter of letting go, not of achieving. God is not hiding anything from you, you are just covering your eyes. Enlightenment Message 52. Meditation is not a technique, it is a relationship with the presence within. Many people meditate as an exercise. But Babaji taught, meditation is not about doing something, it is about being present with what is. Sit, not to become better, but simply to love yourself enough to stay with yourself. It is from that relationship, with the breath, with the feeling, with the stillness, that you become a door to the divine. Meditation is not trying to be still, it is realizing that you are already still. Enlightenment Message 53: You cannot love another more deeply than you love yourself. Babaji reminds, true love does not come from sacrifice, does not come from trying to please, but from a heart that knows it is enough on its own. When you love yourself unconditionally, you no longer seek to be filled by others, but radiate like the sun. Then the love you give is unconditional, undemanding, undiminished. Love is not something you seek. It is something you remember when you see yourself with the eyes of God. Message 54: You live in a body of light, remember to use it. Your body is the most sophisticated technology in the universe. Babaji taught that it is not just for survival, it is for transmitting divine energy, broadcasting love, creating reality. Keep it clean, not just through food, but through thoughts, words, actions. Every time you speak a word of love, help someone, forgive, your body sends out a light signal that vibrates the entire planetary energy system. Your body is not a cage for your soul, it is a door for light to enter the world. Message 55: You don't need to change the world, you need to become the frequency of the world you desire. Babaji teaches, want a less hateful world? Be a forgiving person. Want a more loving world? Be a loving person. When you hold a high frequency, you don't just feel better, you affect the collective energy field. An awakened consciousness can change the space around you like a candle in a dark room. If you want to change the world, start by becoming that world. Message 56: When you stop fighting yourself, you will see that everything is already perfect. Much of suffering comes from not being able to accept yourself as you are. Babaji teaches that only when you stop having to be better, having to achieve something, having to be different, will you begin to see yourself as a flower blooming at the right time. You are not wrong. You are not late. You are not lacking. You are exactly where you need to be to learn the lesson you need to learn. No need to force yourself to become, just come back to be yourself. We enter the final stretch of Mahavatar Babaji's 77 Enlightened Messages journey, 57 to 77. These are higher, deeper messages for souls who are ready to live as an awakened frequency in life, inspiring and bringing light to others. Enlightenment Message 57: Service is not an act, it is a state of being. Babaji teaches that you do not need to do great things to serve humanity. Just being present in love is a service. A kind look, a sincere listening, a peaceful energy you carry can also touch someone's soul. Service does not require you to give up your life, but to bring light into every moment of your life. A great server is not one who does much, but one who is much. Message 58: The path is not given, you create it with each conscious step. Many people wait for signs, clear paths, or someone to guide them. But Babaji teaches, you do not need a roadmap, you need faith. When you walk with deep connection, every step you take becomes sacred ground. No one knows the path to the light. But when you are the light, every step is right. Message 59: Freedom does not come when everything outside is okay, but when you are free from bondage within. Babaji teaches that freedom is not a condition, it is a state. You can be in a difficult situation, but still be free if you are not identified with it. Conversely, you can be living in abundance, but bound by fear, expectation, control. True freedom is when you are no longer controlled by anyone, not even by the person you were yesterday. Enlightenment Message 60. True truth does not come from belief, but from direct experience and silence. Babaji teaches that you should always question everything you believe in, even the most sacred things. Only when you experience it in meditation, in the breath, in a moment of absolute silence, is it the truth of life. Blind belief makes you dependent. Mindful experience makes you free. Message 61. Prayer is not asking, it is remembering that you are always connected. Instead of asking like a stranger, Babaji teaches, pray like a child whispering to the Father in your heart. Prayer is a state of connection where you don't need to say too much, just be present and open. You don't need to call God's name because He has always heard your heart. Message 62. Awakening is not something grand, it is something extremely simple. Babaji says, an awakened person does not need to show off, does not need to use flowery words. He lives honestly, gently, humbly, because he knows that all complexity comes from the ego. The closer a person is to the light, the simpler he becomes. Because the light does not need to prove that it is light. Message 63. The greatest transformation comes not from trying to be good, but from letting go of what you are no longer. Babaji teaches that you don't need to do anything more to become good enough. You just need to gently shed the old layers, the outdated definitions, the outdated beliefs. And then your original light will be revealed. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be true. Message 64. No one can save you because you were never lost. Babaji teaches that we don't need to be saved, we need to be remembered. Remember that we are spirit, light, an integral part of God. You are not lost, you just forget. And the journey of awakening is the journey back to yourself. Awakening is not about going anywhere, it is about stopping going and realizing that you are already home. Message 65. The frequency you carry is more important than anything you say. Babaji said, words are vibrations. But the frequency you emit, the silence within you, is what the world feels. There are people who don't say much, but just being in their presence brings peace. People with light don't preach. They just show up. Message 66. No one comes to you by chance, each person is a lesson for the soul. Every relationship, whether it's love, a collision, or a passing encounter, has a sacred purpose. Babaji taught to look at every relationship like a mirror, so you can see the part of yourself that needs to be loved, understood, or let go. No one hurts you, they just touch a wound that needs healing. Message 67. When you truly trust the flow, there is nothing to control. Babaji reminds, control is a manifestation of fear. But when you believe that the universe is never wrong, you let go, you breathe, you receive, you live like a sacred stream. You don't need to control the river, you just need to learn to flow in awareness. Message 68. Unconditional love is not giving, it is loving without losing yourself. Babaji teaches, unconditional love does not mean tolerating. It is when you still love, still forgive, but do not forget yourself. You do not love because you need to respond, but because love is your nature. When you love from fullness, you never lose. Message 69. Your presence is the greatest gift. Not advice, not solutions, but being fully present, without judgment, without haste, that heals. Babaji teaches, turn off your phone, look directly at the person in front of you, breathe with them. It is the simplest yet most powerful miracle. Presence is the soul's way of saying, I see you. I am here with you. Message 70. When you are true to yourself, the whole universe aligns to support you. Babaji says, you don't need to try to please the world. Just be true to your soul, and every door that needs to be opened will open. When you walk the path of light, the whole sky walks with you. Message 71. You are the light, not the seeker of the light. Babaji taught, God is not out there, not the final destination. You are His living manifestation in the human body. When you give up the idea of I am not enough, I need enlightenment, you become enlightenment walking in the world. You are no longer looking for light, you are the light that others are looking for. Message 72. Your vibration is your mission. You do not need to find a mission in life. Babaji taught that your very existence, if it is full of awareness, truth, and compassion, is a mission. The more authentic you are, the more you radiate the energy that you were born to radiate. The mission is not what you do, it is the frequency you become. Message 73. Enlightenment is not the end, it is the beginning of your life for the whole. Babaji emphasized that when you awaken, it is not done. It is the moment when you become a spark in the global network of souls, serving by presence, example, action. You no longer live for yourself, you live as an awakened cell in the body of humanity. The awakened person is the one who begins to love humanity as himself. Message 74. Your silence is the greatest prayer. You do not need to pray with words. Babaji taught that your silence, filled with gratitude and presence, is a vibration that reaches heaven. When you sit still, breathing in love and faith, you say things to the universe that words cannot contain. The deepest prayer says nothing. Message 75. When you see God in everything, you no longer need to prove anything. Babaji said, the person who tries to prove I am enlightened, I am right, I am better, is still in the ego. The person who truly sees the light in everyone, in everything, will no longer fight for the light for himself. The person who sees God everywhere no longer needs to win over anyone. Message 76. The great unity is not in theory, but in the heart that loves without reason. The golden age is the time of unity, where souls are no longer divided by race, religion, role, level. Babaji taught, the truly enlightened person will see all souls as companions on the same journey back to the light. There is no more I in them. There is only one. Message 77. Babaji is not outside of you. He is the purest version of yourself, waiting for you to remember. And then Babaji said, you don't need me, you just need to come back to yourself. All that he represents, eternity, compassion, inner strength, silence, light, is already within you. The final step on the journey is to stop looking outside and start living as Babaji lives through you. When you stop calling me and start living as me, that is when you truly meet me. The 77 messages are just gentle knocks on the door inside you. That door, no one can open for you, only you can turn in, remember, and come out to live as a living light in your life. Mahavatar Babaji is not a person, he is the eternal frequency that exists within you. Slow down. Sit down. Breathe. Listen. And become him in your own way. You were not born to follow Babaji. You were born to live as Babaji in your own form. Namaste.